What's up, everyone? Jake here. Finally, I'm back from the daily grind. I had to do two summer courses, so I didn't have time to do the video explanation for the game Evil Within. Now I'm finally back, and this time I'll use a video footage from one of my friends in China. And so because he played the game, and this game was the Chinese version. So all the footage, the contents, they were all in Chinese. So please bear with me for that. And if you really want to look up the posters and documents, you can just search online. And I think they're pretty easy to find out. So yeah, let's get started. So after the Citadel Church closed because of the government investigation and the newspaper reports, obviously, Marcelo has lost an important partner who can provide him with more test subjects and also the research support. But at this moment, he came across one talented teenager, which is Ruben Victoriano, Rubik, and he's our main boss in the game. So when Ruben was young, he loved to dissect animals and do his own little experiments on brains. So apparently, little people like him because he might be maybe such a weirdo at his age, and he kind of looked ugly, which we can know from the conversation between him and Marcelo. He said, "You think I'm some kind of monster?" So at this time, his sister Laura was the only one who understands him and liked him. So he fell in love with his own sister. He's not much of a problem at this stage, at least not until the fire at the bottom of Victoriano's families. So apparently, this wealthy family bought up almost all the lands in the area. Some villagers in Elk River Village got very salty, and then they decided they decided to give Victorianos a lesson by burning up one of their barns in the sunflower field. That's why I hate school shooter mindset, but hey, people do stupid things when they're upset. So, and all we know what happened. These douchebags set a fire on the barn where Laura and Ruben were playing, and obviously they didn't give a shit if there were anyone inside the barn. So the kids didn't have any option left, so Laura had to push Ruben out of the barn by sacrificing herself. And Ruben's body were severely injured or burned, and his sister Laura became vegetative after the fire. And this incident left Ruben with psychiatric trauma, so he's very afraid of fire. So fire is always very effective against the enemies in this game or in his STEM system. And this all this sunflower stuff like the drawings and this sunflower, they're all showing his love in his sister. And talk uh, let's talk about the relationship between Marcelo and Ruben. So Marcelo has seen Ruben's research when he was still in a good shape, and he told Ruben that scientists had to do something distasteful in others' view. So this conversation had a huge effect on Ruben's life and made him a complete monster when he was trying to further his research. So after the incident, Ruben became desperate. He wanted to restore his sister by moving her mind into another healthy body. So he started more experiments which are very sick. And his dad witnessed all his moves, and then he decided to take actions by convincing him or just telling him that Laura is dead. But of course, he wouldn't listen to his father, and his father had to lock him up in the basement and tell his mother that both kids were killed in the incident. So after a couple of years, Ruben was able to escape from the basement, and he killed his family with cold blood. Even his mother was still loving him. I mean, yeah, we can saw it from the video game. And after that, this smartass used a car accident to disguise his family's death, and then he kidnapped their family's lawyer, which uh, which was Patrick Higgins. And by this way, he successfully inherited all of his family's fortune, and then he could use all these resources to continue his research. And this research of sharing test subjects' consciousness was I think, very attractive to Marcelo. And then they started to work together. Marcelo could provide Ruben with test subjects and materials from Beacon Mental Hospital. And some of the test subjects, they were actually villagers captured by the Cedar Hill Church. That's why there are a lot of environments of Cedar Hill Church and also the village in the STEM system, because Ruben used these test subjects in his research. But these two selfish nerds would definitely have some problems when they were working together. So when his parents were alive, they were funding the hospital a lot. But when Ruben took over, he didn't want to spend even a penny on the hospital because he thought the hospital was useless. He wanted to get the test subjects for free, and of course Marcelo didn't want to do that, and he came to Ruben's house and threatened him with the test subjects and material. But Ruben was such a badass, so he didn't give a shit, and he started to design a lot of traps, which we could have seen in the game, right? Like the bombs and stuff. So Ruben used this like the traps to capture more villagers in the Elk River village. That's why we have a lot of newspapers saying that there's a serial killer around the Elk River village, and it was actually Ruben, because um, one thing which was mentioned in the newspaper was that a lot of the victims, they had some sort of experiments on their body before they died, before they were killed. So yeah, that's how Ruben got a lot of his experiments done after Marcelo refused to provide him with some test subjects. But by this way, Ruben furthered his research, and also he got his revenge on the villagers who burned up burned up his farm, and also more importantly, his sister. And right at this time, Marcelo started to realize that Ruben's already very aggressive because of his research, and it's not even a scientist anymore. I think he's become a butcher aside from a scientist. So Marcelo was doing the research because he wanted more fame, but Ruben only wanted to revive his sister. And this Marcelo guy, I can say that he's not a 100% douche. He was thinking of giving Ruben better experiment setups, and try to stop him from going in the wrong direction. But when he saw huge progress on the research, which desperate Ruben had made, the desire of fame made him decide to just let Ruben go on his own way.